Hey man, I'm enjoying this. You say, what are you enjoying? I'm enjoying the fact that I get an opportunity to have some of my friends, some of the great people of Birmingham on Strick City Live. I just got through talking just to kind of reminisce about my guests and 25 years. It's not longer. Like we're at the age right now, both of us we're trying to give some years away. It's probably close to 26, 27. However, a man with a great heart, great family, loves people, and is pastoring right here in the city of Birmingham. None other than my guy, Mr. Minister, Pastor Doug Taylor. Is it not apostle yet?
No.
Bishop?
No. Doug Taylor's enough. Doug is enough. I stick with pastor.
Man, I love it.
Bro, I had no idea until you brought that up. It's probably 27, easy 27 years. We're talking about 1997.
I just got to town in 96.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, so William McCain, came the year later. So that was 97 when he got here. And he was working at UAB.
We're working at UAB together, information technology.
William O'Neill was working at UAB.
Yep.
And they introduced me to you.
And it's been on since then.
And it wasn't about no church stuff at the time. We were just good dudes. Let me say this: we were all Christians at the time.
Exactly.
You know
so that was a comment, but we weren't trying to church. We was just being guys, building a relationship, which I think is important.
And then you go from there and you actually start a church.
Yep.
And I know you were in the Avondale area,
over in East Lake. We started in East Lake. We were in East Lake, April 1st, 2001, a little rat trap building. It was a storage unit that we used for a church. Then we moved over to Fifth Avenue, over in Avondale. We finally moved over here off Red Lane Road. We finally had a steeple. When we had a steeple, people was like, okay, they're a real church now.
Do I remember Red Lane Road?
Yep, right off of the, down from the Walmart, where Pastor Harris is.
That's right.
Yep.
We did a Strick City over there.
You did a Strick City? That's right.
We did a Strick City over there. So I learned traveling with gospel hip hop artists and all of the people we would travel with that sometimes we made an investment to get our own sound equipment. And just the way the acoustics worked in that church, it was the perfect set for the equipment that I had.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just perfect. So I remember this.
Oh yeah.
I remember rattling the windows in that church. I loved it.
Right.
Oh man, we had the bass was hitting so hard.
That was great.
We had a great time there.
Absolutely.
We had a great time there, and that again, I almost forgot about that. But we did a whole Strick City tour, and we had to be there.
Yep.
At your church, and all the stuff that you guys were doing, have done over the years, and very close to a lot of your members of the church. Then I had another opportunity to come back and speak and do another Strick City.
Sure did.
At the movie theater.
Yep.
I say movie theater. It is his current church. And it's a great area. I think the way the church is set up is cool. Y'all have done a great job with even the gym part that you use.
Yeah, we're excited about it. Be praying with me. I'm praying that we're out of that facility into the new one by the end of the year. My hope is, the Lord didn't say, but I'm hoping that by New Year's Eve, I can have my New Year's Eve service in a new place. The new place is going to be crazy.
That's nice, man.
New place is going to be crazy.
I've been there, of course, and I've seen the sanctuary and the way it's set up. It's rows for days.
So here's the crazy thing about that building. We didn't buy that building for Better Church.
Okay.
So I hit a pivot probably about 8 or 9 years back where I was just unfulfilled with pastoring.
Okay.
I still love preaching the gospel, but I was like, people gonna join, they're gonna get saved, and that's the crux of it. But I'm like, there's something missing. And so I went on this journey of trying to figure out, God, what's next for me? And man, I stumbled across this statement that changed my life. Statement is, stop praying for a vision for your church and pray for a vision for your community. Bro, it pivoted everything.
Okay, hold on. We can't go by that fast, man.
Doc.
You gotta rewind that. Don't pray for...
Stop praying for a vision for your church and start praying for a vision for your community. And what that said is, I began to look at our church as the Garden of Eden, as it were.
Okay.
God tells Adam and Eve, replenish, subdue, dominate, which means here's a garden, keep expanding. And so
Right.
what's in here should start
Expand.
impacting everything around. And so we became extremely outward focused. How many people can we feed? What are the issues that are facing this community? How can we be a partner? So, and here's the thing, not even about doing church, because this is crazy and we just rambling. I'm going, when Jesus, at the feeding of the 5,000,
Right.
he didn't ask who was going to get saved.
He didn't.
It wasn't even about the ministry result at that point. It was a family's needed support. And he freely supported and impacted them. And then if you want to go further,
Right.
eat my flesh, drink my blood, but right now, I'll need to meet those needs. And so we pivoted. It was like everything was outwardly focused. And so if they come to church, great. If they don't come to church, great. We're going to pray for them and, minister to them. But how can we serve the people around us? And so this new building, man, we're going to be doing workforce development out of there, because we ran out of space to do all the other programs.
Okay.
The stuff we do with entrepreneurship coaching, the stuff we do with ex-offenders, helping with reentry programming, all of those things, sports leagues. That new building
He's going to be able to house all of that.
It's
So
community building, bro.
Let me say this. As a church leader, I know if you just named 4 or 5 programs that your church is doing. There's no way you could run 4 or 5 programs.
Oh, no, not at all.
So you got to have a good structure and a good team that's working
sure.
with you to pull this off.
Oh, absolutely. So I'll give you a perfect example. We have a free mental health ministry in our church. And so I talk to pastors about this. One of the statements I hate is when people say that's real ministry. Well, you can't define what real ministry is.
All of it should be.
All of it's ministry.
Right.
Because every pastor has to determine based on their passions, based on what assignment God has given them, and then what partners they have.
Right.
And so I began to see, and the problems that exist.
Right.
We start having people, short end of the pandemic, having emotional wellness issues and depression. They call us, we pray, we do what pastors do, but I realize this is more than what I can handle. There's something else going on. We had a team of mental health counselors that were part of our church. I pulled them together. Y'all build something.
Right.
Because the whole scope, the real essence of apostleship, leadership, the text says, I give you apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, which means the maturing of the saints,
Right.
so they can do the work of the ministry.
They could do.
They can do the work of the ministry. And so my real job as a pastor is not to do the work.
Right.
It is to grow others so they can do the work. And so that whole mental health issue, man, ministry, I don't know. I'm gonna pray.
Wow.
And I'm gonna sing to them. And so they think last year they served about 400 individuals.
No way.
Absolutely free, bro. And we've trained about 25 individuals in our church, teenagers from 17 to 62 that are trained mental health first aid advocates. It's crazy, bro.
So I introduced him as Pastor Doug Taylor. We haven't said the name of the church.
Rebirth Christian Fellowship.
And you guys need to know that as we're talking about some of the things that he's doing, some of the things he's offering, look the church up. You can pause this, look the church up, okay? Doing some major things in the community. We talked about how long we've known each other. Our children have grown up together.
Absolutely.
People don't know how small Birmingham is.
Bro, yeah.
Or who is connected to who. You can go if you want to and start talking about somebody else in Birmingham.
Absolutely, it's going to get back.
It's going to get back, or somebody's going to know, well, I kind of know him really well.
Exactly, yeah.
But I really appreciate, every time we talk, you always enlighten me on something.
No, and same, bro.
I like the way you think about things to be able to help the community. Is kind of like an evolution of pastoralship.
Sure.
Because, these people are called to me. I want to pastor them. And once you get to a point where pastoring, that now I want to make a bigger impact. So we got to go out of these doors.
Sure.
Because there's people out there that are hungry, that don't have clothes.
Exactly.
Sometimes you get people coming to your church, but what about the church going to those people that they're in need?
Sure, absolutely. And I think that's what I call a mission-driven church. Has to be a higher mission. And, Sunday alone, one of the core values of our church is Sunday is not enough.
That's part of the core values.
That's one part of our 10 core values. Sunday is not enough.
Sunday is not enough, and it's so true. You know,
Absolutely.
if you're not waking up every day, you know, trying to find time to get in His presence, you're not gonna have a good day.
Absolutely.
If you do, the second day might get you. That being said, you're making a move that's 2-3 miles away from where you are now to this new church.
4 miles.
4 miles.
4 miles. Yep.
But it gives you an opportunity to kind of spread your wings a little more as far as the campus has a school on it. And I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even know all of this building.
You gotta go by there.
You know, it is, I've seen parts of it. I've seen the office space in the back. It's just really, really big.
Bro, we're going from 26,000 square feet on 4.3 acres to 110,000 square feet on 9.4 acres, tennis courts, 2 single family homes. And here's the thing, bro, it's all to the glory of God. I'm not smart enough to do this.
Oh, come on, man.
No, I'm telling you, man. I mean, and when I say this stuff, it's not to say what we've done. It's just grateful that God has trusted us with His resource. I mean, I was on the podcast today. I was like, I would have never picked me to pastor. I would have never picked me to preach. I know too much about me. And for God to know more than what I know and give me the privilege of doing this, bro, I love it. I'll never take it for granted.
So you hear why I like this guy, right? You can actually hear while we're talking. One of the things that I know about you, because I am long-time friends with a lot of your members, is that you've always had a heart for entrepreneurs and business people in your church. How are you building them currently, and how do they fit into this next move?
Oh, bro, it's a big deal. So I believe that entrepreneurship is one of the hidden gems of the kingdom of God. The truth is, I've been an entrepreneur for decades. I started doing business at 9 years old. It's crazy, 9 years old, because it's just images make sense. Then when I saw in Scripture, you think about it, of all the disciples Jesus picked, most of them were entrepreneurs.
They were business people.
I had the opportunity to spend 10 days in Israel in 2023, and it's changed my whole scope, bro. We went to a synagogue.
Okay.
In my mind, I always thought synagogue was a church.
Church, right?
It's not. A synagogue is roughly the size of where we are right now. It's a gate outside the city walls where the merchants meet to discuss scripture, to discuss concepts, and it is a marketplace. So when Jesus is going to the synagogues, he's not at church. He's in the middle of market. 2 Kings 4, the woman had, the widow woman said, they're gonna come and take my sons, can't pay my bills. The Lord didn't give him a miracle. Elijah said, what do you have in your house? I got some oil. He puts her in business.
To sell the oil.
He puts her in business. Absolutely. And so she starts, God performed miracles through an entrepreneurial effort. It just makes sense to me. And so we do a lot of cool stuff for our entrepreneurs. We do stuff like pop-up Sundays throughout the summer. We let all of our entrepreneurs sign up and have a Sunday that they showcase their wares. We do entrepreneurship coaching through our nonprofit Rebirth Community Corporation. We do an 8-week program, Reboot, where we teach all these entrepreneurship skills, accounting, the legal component, marketing, but we also have mental health counselors that come in and teach them to not only study spreadsheets, but how do you stand under the stress of being a business owner? Because I was always taught just make money. I was always taught about be profitable. I was never taught how to manage the pressure. And so it's another component that we bring to the entrepreneurship journey that's changing people's lives. And bro, the stuff we're gonna do over here, it's gonna be crazy.
And I believe that. I think, you know, sometimes having the programs as a start, you know how God works.
Sure.
You know, you got to start. You got to take a step.
You got to take a step.
And then he adds to that. And if you already have these programs going, you've already taken your step. Now he's increasing the territory.
Exactly. It's a stewardship thing. Faithful over a few things and make you rule over much.
So not only that, because as I'm sitting here thinking, like, it's just so much stuff over the years we've done. Even going to, like, at one point, as a business person, you were doing business as a wholesaler for cars.
Absolutely.
Are you still doing that a little bit?
No.
You had to give it up because of time?
Yeah, it was. I have to fight because entrepreneurship is in
you.
I have to fight taking on other endeavors. But it was great at the time. I still keep the license,
Right.
So I can have cheaper car insurance, and I like cars, so I buy it and sell them. Now I can help my family out. But as far as I actually still run the business, nah. But it was cool.
It was cool. Did I buy a car from you?
I don't know.
I know we went.
You should have.
I
I bought a
should
car
have.
from you.
You sure did. You sure did. You sure did.
I bought that Jeep for my daughter.
Well, 2 cars, because we got the in-laws got a car too.
You sure did. Yep. So I actually went from wholesaling to actually becoming a retailer. I had over in Roebuck. I had my own office and lot, and I was, it was cool. It was a good hobby.
I liked it, of course. I've actually sold cars, but I like the whole wholesaling business. I just don't have time for it.
No.
I don't have time for it. That being said, how do you handle? First of all, there is a men's conference that's coming up, like at the end of this week. So I'm gonna be sure that people know about this conference.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk about that.
Yep.
But before we talk about that,
Okay.
so y'all hang on, because we got, for all the fellas, this guy's not just cool for no reason. Like, he's making an impact. But I want to know, like, how do you as a person handle being a pastor when it comes to all the negativity of, oh, you a pastor?
Well, I normally don't lead with being a pastor.
Right.
I got a couple guys in my church that I played basketball with them and a wife for years before they even knew I pastored church, and they were cussing, oh, you missed it, blank, layup. Like, hey, man,
Right.
But when I told them that I was a pastor, it was like, okay, we can fool with you.
Right.
So I rarely lead with that unless I'm in, in certain circles. But then I just have to understand too that in every profession, there are some good, there are some bad.
Right.
And I can never eliminate the stigma that exists on some preachers, because real talk, we earned them.
Okay.
The truth is, I handle it by understanding that many of them are valid.
Right.
Because there have been some messed up preachers, messed up doctors, messed up bankers. So to deny it would be intellectually lazy.
Gotcha.
But to counter it is understanding that nobody ever highlights the planes that land. They only have a newscast about the ones that crash. And so I just have this mentality.
No, sir. No, sir. Like, when you around me, you just can't just drop something like that and keep talking.
Yeah.
Because they don't talk about
Don't talk
all of the thousands of planes that are in the air at one time.
Absolutely.
It's that one that comes down and it's major news. I get it. And as a pastor, hundreds of thousands of pastors.
Absolutely.
But, you can find the outliers that don't represent the profession well.
Absolutely. And we have to own that. We have to own that there are some that have misrepresented what we do. I used to be offended, and but I was like, you embrace it. You just have to understand it's the truth. But the other thing too is, at this point, I try to counter that by being willing to explain, at least give a point of reference for why they're off. Few people, if you haven't passed it, you don't know where to take the pastor.
Right.
I tell us all the time, okay, you doing this. Having a camera does not make you a photographer.
That's right.
Having a Bible does not equip you to pastor a church.
That's right.
And so I have to understand that there's some things that people think about pastoring. And I'm going to try to explain to you why that's not news. I have people say, well, all pastors. I'm like, well, we don't do that. Well, we ain't talking about your church. I was like, well, if you're not talking about our church, don't say
can't
churches.
all.
Just say some churches. Eliminate all those extremities. And so I'm like, I just want to model something different.
Gotcha.
And so, and I know I'm not going to win everybody.
That's right.
I know people aren't going to accept everything. I say all the time, if I walk on water, you're going to say it's because I can't swim.
Right.
It just is what it is. Right. I want to make sure that the people that I walk with know my heart is right, know my intentions are right, and I want to do it the right way.
That being said, I have 3 boys. My youngest in September would be 20.
Wow.
And I have a heart.
We grown, bro.
I'm like grown. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grown, dude, it don't even matter no more.
Yeah.
Like what you think, what you gotta say. I hit a plateau. Well, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just,
There's
I
a
used to
freedom in
care.
that. There's a freedom in it, bro.
It's a freedom in it.
Yeah.
There's some wisdom that comes with age that until you get there, you don't understand.
Sure.
Now, I do have how you want to say it? I'm a very A-type personality, but sometimes I would back based on the audience, people I was around. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, that being said, I do think that there's a time for us to focus on men. I believe a generation ahead of us didn't do well with communicating to the younger men. And I want to be sure that not only am I a visual example, but also a physical example as far as being in front of men and helping, supporting men, and just be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
I was telling my youngest son the other day, I said, you I know you don't like this, but it's gonna help you.
Right.
And I'm thinking, he might never appreciate it.
Sure.
Not verbally and not in his heart, but if you don't stop doing this activity, and I know you're doing the activity and I don't help you, it's my fault.
Absolutely.
No, dog, that ain't gonna happen. Not with me.
Not with me here.
I grew up, man, and the men in my family were not vocal enough. Very vocal women, not vocal men. And I think I suffered a little bit. Now, it ain't their fault. Like, my decisions are my decisions, but I would have loved somebody, hey boy, what you doing?
Absolutely.
Do you know how far that goes? Hey boy, what you doing?
Yeah.
And somebody can actually think about what they're doing. And my statement is, why don't you ask me why I said that?
Yeah.
Just ask why.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't understand what I'm saying, well, why would you say that? I said that because of ABC. You see this? If you keep doing that, we can explain it.
Right.
But there's not enough men that are saying, hey boy.
Yeah.
And not in a put you down way, but to kind of shake you.
Accountability and challenge and just cause us to even question what we're doing, because here's the thing, bro. The Bible says every man's ways seem right in their own mind.
In their own mind.
All the dumb stuff we do, we think
thought
it's
we
right. So the thing about it is, people are living at the level of their understanding, so I can't fault you for doing what you think makes sense.
Right.
Until you are exposed to better information, then you still do the dumb thing. Now something wrong with you.
Now something wrong
but
with
until you know, people are living at the level of their understanding. You got to respect that. And so you change it by giving information, not criticism.
So I have this statement for younger guys. You don't know what you don't know.
All day. All day.
You know, how can you make a decision? You don't know what you don't know. The question is why? Like, dude, just come and say, I'm thinking about this. What do you think I should do?
Sure.
And the answer is not always don't do that. You know,
Correct.
I can't tell you don't do that. Kids get to a certain age and you have to be like, hey, this is your option. You can do that if you want to. These are the consequences of making that decision.
I think that's key, sharing the consequences. I know when I grew up, and you know, generations change. In our generation, you ask your parents a question and the answer was because.
Right.
So we had instruction, but no understanding.
No understanding.
It was just mindless obedience.
Because I said so.
Because I said so. And that's not a healthy answer.
It's not.
That does not equip generations to make wise decisions.
Right.
And so even we parent the same generation. We parented things a little bit different. We had open dialogue.
Talk to them.
And as you said, don't just tell you what not to do, but tell you why you shouldn't. You know, what are going to be the repercussions? So now, even if you do what you want to do, I've given you enough information to make an intelligent decision, because it's not a sustainable answer.
Let me ask you this question. When you was growing up, young elementary age, did you have the little key around your neck, having to go home with the key?
Oh, absolutely.
Our kids will never understand what that's about. Not being picked up from school in a car.
Oh yeah. One
Like
car line.
you had to walk home.
On a car
and you had
line.
the little key, so you weren't missing the key around your neck to get in, and mama wasn't there.
Dude, and when you get in, you call her, let her know you in. And God forbid you stop and play football in your school clothes.
It's over with. It's over with.
It's over, bro.
Man, the generation that we parented, man, had it so easy. Now, you know, I'm not taking anything away from their intellect, because my kids are way smarter than me.
Oh, all day.
And my boys have way more integrity than I grew up with. They're great guys, but they had it easy, man.
Yeah.
They had it easy. As far as how we allowed them to grow up, you know, we lived in the same area. Our kids going to the same school. Come on, man. What high school did you go to?
I went to Winona.
Come on, man.
Jones Valley, Winona. Here's the thing with that, though. I think we, as parents, we have to take some of the responsibility for it. Because, as I just said earlier, there are two types of people in life. You have builders and buyers.
Okay.
A builder walks in the room and sees a hammer and nails, and they see a wall. A buyer walks in the room and see a hammer and nail, they see a hammer and nail.
Right.
And so and I think it's important to understand how to function as a builder, because God doesn't give you life pre-built. Right. He gives you pieces, and you have to build the life that God has for you. We grew up as builders. We didn't have acrylic backboards.
No, we didn't.
We had a piece of plywood and a bicycle rim.
If we had that. It was a pine tree with a rim.
Bro.
No nets.
Exactly. No nets, no nothing. And so what happened is we built with nothing.
Right.
But then what happened is we blessed our family with what we built.
Right.
And it's not their fault they don't know what to do with a bicycle rim and plywood, because we taught them that acrylic and nets is what's right.
That's what's right.
And I think sometimes we do a disservice of punishing a generation that we created.
We created them because we would never put a bicycle rim up.
Oh, bro. Now you know what? Now I was rebelling when we moved over into Trussville. I had my basketball goal put up. Dude, I put chain link nets up. Dude,
you can hear it.
Dude, I'm bringing Winona to Trussville.
Oh,
I'm like, no,
man.
I'm not gonna conform. But no, I think it's important just to see how we can merge the two generations, because they're not wrong, they're different.
They're different.
You know, and I think every generation has weaknesses and strengths. Like we grew up desensitized to pain.
Right.
The problem with that is we were desensitized to pain, and so we're bleeding and we should have stopped.
Right.
But this generation is now more attuned to their emotions.
Right.
And I think sometimes they stop too early. So we didn't stop enough.
Right.
They stopped too soon, and so I think it's a balance of helping each generation. We become a little more sensitive to our weaknesses. They become a little more attuned to their strengths, and we both find this middle ground. That's part of why I think the men's conference is going to be cool. Friday night, we're going to have.
Thank you for bringing it back to that, because we going to just talk about random stuff.
No, that's cool. But that's what we do. Whenever we get on the phone, bro, we'll go from thing to thing. But what's going to be cool about Friday night is we're having a special session for young men, 12 to 18.
And this is August the 8th?
August 8th and 9th. So Friday night will be the kickoff. While the young men are having a breakout session, I'm going to have a panel for multiple generations. And so I'll have 3 generations of men talking through certain topics before the crowd to see how this issue is managed in different generations. Like, perfect example, I had to tell my son, so he went off to take a job in Orlando, and I told him, you're grown. I don't think the job is going to be good for you. He said, why? I said, because you're different than me. When I started working, I was looking for the 1st and the 15th.
Right.
You're looking for fulfillment. You're not going to find fulfillment in that job.
Oh, man.
I was looking for a payday. You're looking for purpose.
Right.
And so he's way more in tune with life and things that matter. I didn't start thinking about a life that matters. I'm in my 30s, bro. I'm trying to pay bills.
Right.
And so what happens is, in that, I even think that's where sometimes we discount and even throw bricks at this next generation for not having what we call the same level of loyalty. Well, I'm not fulfilled.
They're not fulfilled because they're going to the next thing.
Going to the next job. And granted, you should develop a healthy work record.
Right.
But I don't want to make a lot of money and hate my life. I want to find fulfillment.
I like that.
It's just, it's finding the balance, bro. I'm going to do this thing. And I know I'm talking a lot.
Hold on, before you do that.
Men's conference.
Want more details on men's conference. How can they get that? rebirthchristian.org/kingmaker. Friday is going to be great with the panel. Saturday is going to be crazy. My friend Ricky Smiley is going to come talk about being a king in crisis, how he navigated through the death of his son. That's cool, man.
Larry Thornton is going to come talk about being King overcoming Jim Crow, overcoming challenges. You know,
Okay.
he was just a pillar for our community. He partnered with Magic Johnson in the 90s and opened the McDonald's and developed the Heritage Center on the
Okay.
west side. Navigated from Jim Crow poverty, has emerged and become a leader in corporate America. Brandon Cleveland is going to come. He's going to talk about a king in culture, how we can thrive in this secular world and maintain our spiritual convictions.
Okay.
And what's dope is I got to talk about entrepreneurship. I got a young man in my church, Anthony Gaucher. He's going to talk about, he's 14 years old.
14.
And he's going to be one of my speakers and talk about up and coming kings, how he's navigated through running a successful business.
At 14.
At 14, his father passed unexpectedly, and just his journey of dealing through that and some personal challenges and finding himself. And he's an athlete, strong leader, Christian leader. So I think it's going to change the trajectory of what I consider church conferences to be.
Wow.
It's going to shift from doing better church to actually raising our thought process, raising our perception of what happens because of my walk with the Lord, what's possible.
If some people are hearing this, you know, men don't like to sit down and talk, all right? So conferences could be a big deal. What would you tell a young man that's watching this and may be questioning whether they should come or not? Like, what would you tell them? Not just, hey, this is what it's going to be about, but what would you say if you would kind of entice them to come?
I really believe that life is dependent on it with all my heart. Everything in life we learn one of two ways, either by mistake or by mentor.
Okay.
And God uses mistakes to teach people who are too proud to submit to a mentor.
Okay. I like that.
It's crazy. And so
God uses mistakes.
He uses mistakes to teach people who are too proud to submit to a mentor.
You know, every now and again, I know you're just so cool, but that pastor thing just comes right out of you.
It's what I do, bro. It's what I do. It's what I do.
It is that's quotable, brother.
Bro, it is crazy. And so you think about the mistakes. I was making a comment the other day when people talk about if I had known then what I know now. The truth is, I did know it. Somebody told me. I just didn't believe it.
Believe it. I wanted to try it your own way.
So it's not if I had known then what I know now. Now I know the mistake.
Right.
But I knew the truth when they took. I just didn't think it was a truth.
Right.
And so I think it's important, especially for young men, to be in an environment where we can exchange, where we can add value, where we can receive, because you'll never be your best by yourself. And whatever mistake they're making in life right now is probably because they don't have a successful mentor. And here's the other thing, bro, of understanding that championships don't transfer.
Okay.
So
that year, you're the champion for that year.
In that league.
In that league.
So you're a champion at Pop Warner. You're not a champion in the pros.
Right.
And so just because you're killing the game with your shoe game, killing the game making money, does not mean that you're killing the game as a father, as a leader, as a friend. And so just because you're winning here does not mean you're automatically winning everywhere else.
It could also mean, like, sometimes there are some areas in your life that you're not good in because you're focused on that winning area.
Absolutely. Because we don't want to focus on the development because I feel second class. So I go back to refocusing on the thing that I do well, because I don't want to acknowledge that here's an area for development that I don't want to do.
And sometimes it could be home that you're neglecting because you're winning somewhere else. I used to always tell people, and I try to get it myself, like internally, Michael Jordan had his own physical trainer.
Yes.
Okay? Like, he paid for his own coach.
Yep.
Those things are important. Like, he was at the top of his game because he had somebody that he was paying to be sure that his nutrition was right, the way he worked out was right.
Right.
He moved from basketball to baseball. They changed, that same trainer changed the regimen for him to fit baseball.
That's good.
We want to be successful in life. In everything that we do, you want to be the best. You want to be a Michael Jordan. Why not do what he did?
Absolutely.
We could talk for days, brother.
Yeah.
Can we please do a part 2?
Oh, man, come on.
Part 2, after this men's conference, I want to go, let's tour the new church.
Oh,
I want people to see the vision, man. Let's tour the new church.
I would be honored.
And show people what's going on right here in Birmingham, Alabama, because I really like your vision for the community. I have a pastor Big up to Dr. Thomas Beavers.
My guy.
But I like this dude right here.
I like this dude. I like you too. No, you my guy.
You in the community, man, we need people like you.
Man,
And my prayer is that as you build, more and more people are aware of what God is doing in your life.
Man, I'm humble.
And you got to tell your family I say hello.
Oh, all day, you know, I got to tell you, I love your family. You know,
Yeah.
we watched our sons and daughters grow up together, man.
That's right.
I saw your son walking today, man, had a full beard. I'm like, I remember I bullied you on a field trip.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Give me these snacks.
Listen. Pastor Doug Taylor was there when one of my sons, which I'm so proud of, got to be in the spelling bee.
Yeah.
All right, and your daughter was in the spelling bee as well. And, you know, it's just special times. I remember being there at the school and him being in the spelling bee, your daughter being in the spelling bee, and us being there together. And I'm not even talking about going up to Jasper to the camp.
Oh, bro.
Hey, man, we got so many
Bro.
things. We can talk. I got to end the show. We're going to do a part 2. We're going to get a chance to see what God is doing in his life with his new location in just a few weeks. All the men, I need y'all to go to this website.
rebirthchristian.org/kingmaker.
All right, go there. I want to see you guys at this conference. You guys be blessed. I appreciate you. Another episode of Strick City Live.
I love it.